Why the Boston Red Sox 10-game win streak makes them a massive playoff threat.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Gabby Maljanian, former ESPN social media associate and current host of the Boston Balling podcast as well. And I am here to bring you the latest in all things Boston Red Sox, Monday through Friday, straight to your favorite podcast feed. And the best part, it's all free. So make sure you consistently tune in because Locked On is here every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. What a happy Monday it is to be a Boston Red Sox fan, as they are currently on a 10-game win streak. What exactly led to that sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays? Going to be talking about that on today's show, as well as the return of Alex Bregman, who played in 2 of those 4 games against Tampa, and Ceddanne Rafaela, who continues to be the standout player for this Red Sox team. What's changed for him at the plate? So 10 in a row for the Red Sox. I had said prior to this stretch that they had to take care of business against the Nationals and Rockies. Those are 2 teams that are beyond beatable. And I said the Red Sox need to be able to beat those teams. So they went out there and they swept both of those teams. And I said, okay, great. That's awesome. You beat teams that you were supposed to beat. And a lot of people were like, well, it's just the Nationals and Rockies, so who cares? So then I said, all right, let's try to split against the Tampa Bay Rays. I wasn't even nearly expecting a sweep, no less even taking 3 of 4. I just said, let's split the series, and I would be satisfied with that. But the Red Sox go into this series, which was for sure a very competitive series, and they won all 4 games, mostly by 1 run. The first game of the series, they won 4-3. Game 2, they won 5-4. Game 3, they won 1-0. In game 4, they won 4-1. So they were all really close games. And this is a Red Sox team that, while in the first half of the season, they were unable to win 1-run games, now is turning the narrative on that and is winning a lot of 1-run games. And that's been the biggest difference between the Red Sox early struggles and their recent success, is that they're able to figure out how to win the close games. One of the biggest standouts that should be talked about from this series is Garrett Crochet throwing a complete game shutout. 9 innings, giving up just 3 singles in the game with 9 strikeouts. He threw 100 pitches with 72 strikeouts to get his ERA to a 2.23. 100 pitches, 72 strikes. That is really, really good. And for him to strike out 9, I mean, that's just typical Garrett Crochet doing his Garrett Crochet thing. And that is massive, because what was notable was the game prior on Friday when the Red Sox won 5-4. Hunter Dobbins, who had just been activated from the injured list, started that game. And the Red Sox had optioned Isaiah Campbell down to Worcester to make room for Dobbins. So Dobbins was really excited to be back, but unfortunately, he received some unfortunate news. So he had to exit his start on Friday, and it was early in the game. He only threw 1 2/3 innings before he had to exit the game. And then on Saturday, the Red Sox woke up to news that he will undergo season-ending surgery after he's tore his right ACL 5 outs into that start. So Alex Cora had talked about it, and he said, tough. He put himself on the map, right? He did a good job for us when it happened. I thought it was something minor, but talking to him, he felt it right away. He's been through that before. So he'll have surgery, he'll rehab the right way and be ready whenever he's ready. Obviously not cutting corners on the rehab. That's the most important thing. We know we have a good one. He's a good big league pitcher. And whenever he comes back, he's going to help us. So what happened was in the second inning in that game, he ran to cover first base on a ground out by Chandler Simpson. Abraham Toro fielded the ball at first base and threw it to Dobbins, who had to jump to cleanly complete the play. So after he came down on the bag, he hobbled down the first baseline and grabbed his right leg, prompting trainers and Alex Cora to come out. He made his way to the mound, threw one warm-up pitch, and then left the game. I think his intention was that he was trying to stay in the game, but then he had to exit. He said, I've torn my ACL on this knee before, and it was the same feeling. Kind of some denial went into it, tried to go into the warm-up pitch, felt the same sensation again. So at that point, I knew what it was. He first tore his ACL playing high school football when an opposing player dived at his knee trying to make a tackle. The right-hander said he underwent surgery in October or November after that injury, and he was eager to get back in time for baseball season in the spring. This time, he feels he'll be more fully focused on his rehab with the weight of his job and wanting to get back to his teammates waiting on the other side. After undergoing surgery, he expects to spend a couple of weeks at home to begin his recovery process. But once he's cleared for movement, he hopes to get back to Boston so he can be around his teammates. If there's any need to confirm his desire to get back to his team, Friday night served as a good indicator that he is committed and wants to get back as soon as possible. Despite being at a nearby hospital and inside an MRI machine, he was locked in on the remainder of the game all the way through to Ceddanne Rafaela's walk-off two-run homer, which was absolutely electric. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Rafaela later. But Dobbins said outside of the big disappointment of not being able to pitch this year, missing the home run last night was pretty tough. I was actually in the MRI machine and they were giving me some score updates in between each one. And then right after the last one, they were like, we think you'd like to hear this. Y'all just won by a walk-off. So that was pretty cool to hear it. The guys picked me up that way. He had just been activated off the IL for Friday's start after being sidelined with a right elbow strain since late June. The rookie has posted a 4.13 ERA in 13 games, 11 of those being starts this season. So it's really heartbreaking news for Dobbins, who literally had just come back and got injured again. So now we won't see him pitch for the rest of the season. So in his place, the Red Sox called up right-hander Richard Fitts from AAA Worcester for his fourth stint with the big league team this year. Fitts is 1-3 with a 4.28 ERA over 33 2/3 innings. Alex Cora said somebody has to jump in, and we've got capable guys. Fitz is here now. We'll set up the rotation after the All-Star break, probably with him in mind, and we'll go from there. So obviously not ideal. Dobbins had been pitching well for the Red Sox, but he will miss the rest of the season. I really am interested in seeing how much this increases the urgency of the Red Sox bringing Tanner Houck back. I actually spoke with him recently when he was rehabbing, and he's still rehabbing, still needs to work on his pitch count, and still needs to work on his command before he gets sent back up to the Red Sox. So I do wonder if the Red Sox might kind of push his timeline up a little bit to get him back in the rotation now that Dobbins, who was really reliable, is no longer a part of it. But it was definitely unfortunate because since he got pulled from the game so early, after he had given up 2 hits and 1 earned run with 2 strikeouts, the Red Sox needed to bleed through the bullpen in the rest of that game. So then after he got pulled, Jorge Alcala came into the game, threw 1 inning, giving up 3 hits and 3 runs, but none of them being earned, with 1 walk and no strikeouts. Brendan Bernardino pitched 2 1/3, giving up 1 hit with 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Greg Weissert threw 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs with 1 strikeout. Justin Wilson threw 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, 1 walk with 1 strikeout. Jordan Hicks threw 1 inning, giving up no hits or runs with 1 strikeout. And Chris Murphy threw 1 inning, giving up no hits, no runs with 1 strikeout. So the Red Sox bullpen definitely did its job by keeping the Rays at bay, and the Red Sox ended up winning 5-4. But because they had bled through a lot of the bullpen that night, Garrett Crochet coming in and saving the day on Saturday was huge with a complete game shutout. It was the first complete game shutout of his career, and he was absolute nails. And the big difference with Garrett Crochet now is that he has cut down on the walks. When he's not walking people, he is unstoppable. He has fantastic stuff. It's just that sometimes he loses his command a little bit, and then he tends to run up his pitch count higher, and he's not able to stay in games for as long. Like in his previous start prior to this one, he only pitched 5 innings. So making sure that he is in check in terms of his command, and then he'll be able to stay in games for a long time. So complete game for him was a huge highlight from this series, as well as the return of Alex Bregman and Ceddanne Rafaela continuing to crush baseballs, and the Red Sox offense just continuing to be dominant, able to find a way to win 1-run games. And that was the biggest story of this Red Sox game and this series against the Rays as a whole, was that Garrett Crochet threw a complete game and the Red Sox won 1-0. Didn't really give him run support, but they didn't really need it thanks to Crochet being so dominant on the mound. But even in another game in that series, the opening game where the Red Sox won 4-3, they came back from down 3-1 in that game to win 4-3. In the first half, Red Sox lose that game for sure the majority of the time, but they showed resiliency, and thanks to Marcelo Meyer and Ceddanne Rafaela, they were able to rally to win that game 4-3. So the Red Sox are finding ways to win, and they are unstoppable as of right now. And having won 10 in a row, it's such a good feeling going into the All-Star break. The Red Sox have so much momentum right now, and they were able to get themselves within 3 games of the Blue Jays for first place in the AL East. The Red Sox currently sit at 53-45. They are a game behind the Yankees, who are 53-43, and they are 3 games behind the Blue Jays, who are 55-41. So the Red Sox went from being 10.5 games out of first place in their division to now being just 3 games out. So the division is still well within reach, really feeling like the Red Sox should be buyers at the trade deadline. And now they're getting healthier because Alex Bregman made his return to the Red Sox on Friday. Going to be talking a little bit about that next. If you're looking for last minute tickets to anything, whether it's a sporting event, concert, comedy show, you name it, Game Time is the home for you. I've been there so many times where my friends and I can't make plans. So last minute we decide, hey, let's go to a game. And Game Time is the solution because it's cheaper and the prices usually actually get better the closer to the event that it is. And you can get really good seats last minute because it always automatically looks for the best seats and the lowest prices. So it's really the full package. Take the guesswork out of buying concert and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. It is fantastic. I love Game Time a lot, and I use it all the time. So the Red Sox are currently in the midst of a 10-game win streak as we enter the All-Star break. I'm definitely going to miss Red Sox baseball over the next few days. I feel like this happens every year where I always miss it during the All-Star break because I love watching this team nearly every day. And then the All-Star break comes around and it's like, oh, no baseball for a few days. But I do love the home run derby. I love the All-Star game. So it should be a fun couple days here of events. But it's especially even harder to not have to be able to see the Red Sox over these next few days because of the fact that they are in the midst of this win streak and things have been going really well for them as of late. They're having a lot of fun. They truly look like they are having more fun than they have had all season long right now. And I get it. Winning is fun. They enjoy winning baseball games as they should, as any team should. And they are having an absolute blast. And it's been fantastic to see. And it makes it a fun team to watch. Hopefully they don't lose that momentum. That would be the only thing that I would be a little concerned about is, are they going to come out of the break and be struggling because they didn't play for 4 days? So the break could be beneficial for teams, but it also could be very much not beneficial. So I'm really hoping the Red Sox are on the good end of that and they keep this momentum rolling. But one player who can certainly help keep that momentum rolling is Alex Bregman, who made his return to the Red Sox lineup. And in a corresponding roster move, the Red Sox actually optioned David Hamilton to AAA Worcester. Now, there were rumblings about the potential of Marcelo Meyer going down to AAA because the Red Sox were saying that they felt like he could maybe benefit from everyday reps in AAA because there is still the possibility right now of him platooning, because if they still want to keep Abraham Toro and Romy Gonzalez involved, then the Red Sox would have to probably platoon Marcelo Meyer at second base with Romy Gonzalez and then Abraham Toro playing first. And then if Romy's playing first, then Marcelo Meyer could play second. But in order for him to be able to develop into the player he needs to be, the Red Sox were saying he needs everyday reps. So it might be better for him to get that in AAA. So that was a topic of discussion, was, so does it make sense for us to send Marcelo down to AAA so he can get everyday reps as opposed to him staying up here and platooning? But ultimately they decided that David Hamilton doesn't produce enough offensively for this team, which was the most logical decision that made sense. So he was sent down to AAA upon Alex Bregman's return, which was on Friday when the Red Sox won 5-4. He played third base in that game and went 1 for 4 with 1 strikeout. And everybody was just really excited to have him back. I mean, he has been a great leader for a lot of the young players on this team, and they really look up to him. And then he played again on Sunday when the Red Sox won 4-1, and he went 1 for 4 again in that game with no walks and no strikeouts. He's now at a 298 average, 380 on base percentage, and 546 slugging. And him being back just boosts the Red Sox lineup because statistically, he was one of the Red Sox best and most consistent hitters before he went on the IL. So when he returned to the lineup, there was a lot of hype because it was much earlier than he or anyone else originally thought he was going to come back. But there are some ground rules for him when he's now playing in games moving forward. After 43 games missed with a right quad strain, Bregman was active on Friday and hitting second for the Red Sox without having gone on a rehab assignment. He revealed after the game that the training staff originally thought he'd be out for 12 weeks, and he returned in exactly 7. So a lot quicker of a recovery for him. And they do want to make sure that he doesn't offer any issues anymore and doesn't suffer a setback, and that the decision to accelerate his rehab didn't end up being for nothing, and that he ends up getting a more severe injury. So because of all that, the Red Sox have told him that he has to pick his spots when it comes to hustling at full speed on the base paths. Alex Cora basically said when he hits a ground ball, he's not going to go all out to first. Those are the rules. If you're going to do this, it might look bad, but no, we need him healthy, and we're going to keep him healthy. So, for example, this rule was tested right away on Friday when he hit a ground ball toward third baseman Junior Caminero and was slow out of the box. Caminero bobbled the ball, but then threw Bregman out easily. And then in the 5th inning, Bregman was again measured in his running after smoking a 101.6 mile per hour grounder in Caminero's direction. Bregman said, you've got to be smart, smash a ball down the third baseline, a guy dives, and you've got to make sure you're running at under 100%. I feel like over the next few weeks, just building up into this, it's going to be good. It sucks, but it's something that the first few weeks, especially, I've just got to be smart out of the box. I felt like when I got out there today, I couldn't feel my legs. They felt like they weighed like 5 pounds. Later in the game, they felt like they weighed a little bit more than that, but it was good to get back. My body feels good. In certain situations that the game dictates, Bregman will have no choice but to go full speed. He skied a wall ball double with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning on Friday, and with the Red Sox trailing by a run, he vowed to bust it home if Masataka Yoshida had gotten a hit. So it's circumstantial too, for sure, but he definitely needs to monitor it. He showed no signs of nagging pain while in the batter's box or in 9 innings playing third base. The team, though, knows that soft tissue injuries like the one he suffered can return, so they're playing it safe for the time being. He didn't play Saturday, and then he ended up starting Sunday's first half finale before going into the All-Star break. So obviously the Red Sox wanted to ease him back into everything. When the Red Sox resume play on the road in Chicago and Philadelphia, he will play 2 games in each 3-game series. It's another concession that he made to get back quicker. He said, we're going to be working on the days I'm not playing and making sure my full hip complex is staying strong. My hamstrings are good and my quads are good. Just building into it. Super thankful to our training staff and strength and conditioning staff and everyone in the medical department for allowing me to get back this quick. Initially, we thought it was going to be more like 12 weeks. So to get back in 7 was pretty awesome. We've got to take it a little bit slow and build up running. Bregman's game day routine will also look a bit different than it did before the injury, as he does plan to get treatment from the training staff on his right leg before and after every game. When reporters asked about a media scrum on Friday afternoon, he was already in the throes of a rigorous pregame buildup. He said the warm-up might be a little bit longer before the game, after the game. We'll be on top of it, doing a lot of isometric work for the whole hip complex. In Bregman, who made the All-Star team despite missing 6 weeks, the Red Sox are getting a star back at a time when the team is absolutely rolling right now. Alex Cora said it's good to have him as a player. I enjoy the coaching part of it, the tutoring and all of that, but I love the player. So even when he was hurt, he was taking on a massive role as that mentor for the younger players, and that's why it shows that he makes such a difference on and off the field. He said, obviously, it took a few at-bats to get feeling good, but most importantly, my body felt good, and I was able to square a few balls up there in my last 2 at-bats. Good to be back. What an incredible team win. So he felt pretty good Friday, but if you ever see him not hustling down the first base line on a ground ball, it's because the Red Sox told him he has to manage it, and they're trying to make sure that he stays healthy because they are 100% going to need him if they are going to make a potential playoff push. So they want to just make sure that they're being careful about it. But it's been great having Bregman back. He's very excited to be back in the lineup. He is just focusing on staying healthy, and he's focusing on being somebody who can be reliable in the lineup regularly again. And the plan is that the Red Sox are going to ease him back into playing every day. It's just tough when you've missed a lot of time like that to have somebody jump back into the lineup immediately and be expected to play every day. So that's the situation with Bregman, is that basically he is going to be taking on the majority of the workload out third base for most of the games as he eases back into it, but ultimately is not going to play every day just yet. I'm sure that's right around the corner, though, as long as he's feeling good. But I really like this approach. Make sure he doesn't strain himself too much, because the last thing that the Red Sox would want would be for him to get himself hurt again, because he is out there putting too much strain on his body. So we'll see how things go with Bregman, but it's really good to have him back in the lineup, and I'm happy the Red Sox have a guy who's been phenomenal for them this season on and off the field back with the team. Somebody else who's been phenomenal in the Red Sox lineup is Ceddanne Rafaela. What's been leading to all of his recent success? I'm going to be talking about that next. But don't forget that you can subscribe to Locked On Red Sox on YouTube or any other podcast platform, wherever you listen to podcasts, as I am here Monday through Friday talking the latest in all things Boston Red Sox. And no matter how frustrating things get, I am still here talking about this team. But right now, things certainly are not frustrating, and it really does feel like this is the first time all season where I truly have felt confident in this team's ability. And it feels like a team that can make a serious run. So I'm here to continue to talk about it Monday through Friday. And also, after you take a listen to Locked On Red Sox, you should next listen to Locked On MLB Game Night, which is every game, every night, all season long. Our Locked On experts talking about every game that took place. You can get local analysis on a national scale about every game so that you don't have to scroll through ESPN and check scores. So find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make that your second listen after you continue to tune in to Locked On Red Sox daily as we enter the quote-unquote second half of the season. Should be a fun push. I am here to keep discussing the Red Sox. So while this team is on an absolute roll right now, they have had several players who have stepped up and contributed. One of the biggest difference in the Red Sox as of late has been their starting pitching providing length. That has been a huge difference here because earlier on in the season, the Red Sox starting pitchers were not able to pitch as deep into games. And it was really exhausting the bullpen because the bullpen had to be used earlier on in games when the starters had to get pulled, and it was just not a recipe for success. So now the Red Sox are in a situation where their starters are providing length, so the bullpen is better rested, and that could, as a result, lead to wins. But they are getting big hits as well, especially from a guy named Ceddanne Rafaela. What has caused his recent success? So in 2024, his metrics were very poor at the plate. He was chasing way too much. He was striking out way too much, and he was not taking any walks. So the patience wasn't really there. And he didn't exactly have good pitch recognition. So he was swinging and missing a ton and not finding a lot of success at the plate. But this year, what's changed? He has developed as a hitter a lot more. For example, yes, he's still chasing a lot. That's something he still needs to improve on, but he's not chasing as much as he did last year. It's not a huge difference, but he has improved a little bit in that area of not chasing at as many bad pitches. His strikeout percentage has gotten significantly better compared to last season where he was striking out 26% of the time. Now this year, he's striking out 19.4% of the time. So while that was the result of his at-bats a lot last year, it's not nearly as much of a result this year. His walk percentage last year was very poor. He only walked about 2.6% of the time. This year, he's walking 4.7% of the time. So he definitely still needs to work on his patience. I'm not saying he's anywhere near perfect, but his numbers have gone up at the plate and his ability to impact the game in a positive way offensively because he has been a little bit more patient and he's been getting a little bit better at identifying pitches that he should be swinging at versus not swinging at. It's still a work in progress, but he has been on an absolute heater. In Sunday's game, he hit a clutch 2-run homer in the bottom of the 6th inning to give the Red Sox a 3-run lead that their bullpen would not relinquish. In his past 15 games, he has been arguably the hottest hitter on the planet. With his latest big outing in the books as of Sunday, he is hitting .375 during this stretch with 6 home runs and 18 RBIs. And in the process, he's raised his batting average on the season a whopping 21 points. The vibes are really high surrounding this Red Sox team right now as they rattled off their best win streak since their World Series season in 2018. And Rafaela is a huge part of that. After the win, he said, yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice to win. So he is so excited about what's going on with this team. And he really does seem to be blossoming into a star in real time. While his late all-star push fell short, if he keeps playing like he has been as of late, he could become a perennial all-star, no doubt, in the near future, which is really exciting to think about. And entering Friday's game, he was batting .328 with a .362 on base percentage, .642 slugging percentage, 1.003 OPS, 10 home runs, 12 doubles, 24 RBIs, and 23 runs scored in 37 games since May 28th. He went 2 for 4 in the game, including an RBI single in the 2nd inning to tie the game 1-1. Even Alex Bregman said he feels like he's been one of the best players in baseball over the last month and a half, 2 months, doing it in every phase of the game. He also entered Friday with 14 defensive runs saved and 757 2/3 innings in center field. And he just constantly wants to get better and wants to help the team win. He knows it's a process and he's going to have to continue to make adjustments in his game, but he's down for that. And he wants to continue to do what he can do as a player to help his team win. He hit 5 home runs over his last 9 games on Sunday. So he is just crushing it. He's not even just making light contact and reaching first base because he's fast. He is mashing, and I mean mashing baseballs. He went 2 for 3 on Thursday, and then on Friday, he went 2 for 4. And then on Saturday, when the Red Sox won 1-0 in that Garrett Crochet game, he went 1 for 4 in that game. And then on Sunday, he went 1 for 3. So obviously, Alex Cora has talked about the outfield situation and how somebody's going to have to sit every day, but he's been on fire. So it's pretty clear that the Red Sox do want to keep him in the lineup if they can, as much as they can. And that's something that I think we're going to see regularly, is an outfielder is going to have to sit every day, but I don't think they want it to be him as long as he continues to hit the way that he has been hitting. So he has been coming up with a big hit on multiple occasions for this Red Sox team, including a walk-off 2-run homer in the 9th inning on Friday night. That was really exciting. 406-foot homer. Roman Anthony had taken a walk with the Red Sox down 4-3, and then Rafaela came up and crushed the 2-run homer to walk it off for the Red Sox. So he has been getting not only good contact, but he has been crushing it, and he's been getting these hits in opportune times. So it's been really fun to see him develop into a superstar, and obviously his defensive prowess, goes without saying, is very elite. So he's a really good all-around player, and he needed to unlock a new gear offensively, and he seems to be doing that, and he's been super fun to watch. So hopefully this continues for him. Hopefully the Red Sox momentum continues after the All-Star break, and they can come out of the gates hot and string together lots of wins. Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Red Sox. Really appreciate you always making it your first listen of every day. Enjoy the All-Star break. And like I always say, keep the faith, go Red Sox, and I'll catch you on the flip side.